Welcome back to the bench. Today we have an Atari ST, and this was a generous donation from one of my subscribers who had this laying around, and yeah, so it's in an unknown working state, although yeah, pretty much it doesn't work. The keyboard is apparently faulty, and also yeah, it came with no screws, so it's all loose. So let's take a look at this. So yeah, keyboard is pretty yellowed, as is the case, like it is on a lot of things here. Okay, let's lift the keyboard up. Okay, so the keyboard looks like somebody spliced the keyboard cable in, so you never know, that could actually be part of the problem. I don't think that is factory. So maybe there was a fault with the cable and somebody has replaced that. Maybe they got a wire the wrong way around and that's why the parts of the keyboard are not working. This IC is socketed, which I don't think would have been like that originally. I would have thought that that would have been call it yeah, soldered directly on. Yeah, it looks like somebody has been in here before, obviously trying to fix it, so we can take a look at that later. Okay, so yeah, these Atari STs, they're pretty heavy machines because of all this metal work inside. Here is our PSU. This is the ST, it's not E, is it STF module, which means it has the internal floppy, but the FM model also had a RF modulator, which this obviously doesn't have because it's just the F model. So let's take the cover off of there. Let me take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, PCB, my favourite manufacturer of low-cost PCBs, from CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal fabrication, right through to PCB fabrication and assembly. They've got you covered. They can also do injection moldings. Sign up as a new member and receive a $5 welcome bonus. There is a link to their website in the video description where you can check out the amazing services they have to offer. Now back to the bench. And here is our power supply. Now before I plug this in, I actually want to test this power supply to make sure it is actually working, before trying to yeah, power up the machine. So let's just unplug that from here. Okay, so all our pins are exposed here, so yeah, we've got our grounds, which are black, the blue is our 12 volts, and the reds are going to be our 5 volts. Yes, so just plus 12 and plus 5. So what I have is some resistors to act as loads, because yeah, if you want to measure a switch mode power supply, then it's best to do it under load, because otherwise the power supply might not actually start up properly and could cause problems. Okay, so I have a 47 and a 3.3K, so that's all I have to hand. I can't find my other load resistors, so hopefully they won't get too hot. Can I get these both in there together, or shall I use two different cables? Let's just use two different cables. So there's plenty of room to clip these leads on the actual PCB. So we'll put the 47 on the 5 because that will draw less current. So we go through and hook onto our 5 volts. There we go. So get onto our 12 volts. Put them over there. Now when working on these machines, you've got to be very careful, because obviously once I plug this into the mains, this is going to be live at mains voltages. So yeah, you want to keep your hands well clear of that. We'll bring in our voltmeter. Sack the jaw. Get that ready. Let's just prop that up there like that so we get less glare on the screen. So yeah, this is now where we need to be careful because obviously this is now live. So power supply is on. Nothing's getting too warm. Let's get in here. So a little bit low, 11, it's fine. It's better be a little low than a little high. Let me just get in here. Actually, I could probably take it off of the pin. Maybe if I can get it and squeeze it in there. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not sure if that's just me making a bad connection or whether that's jumping around. Let's try again in the end of the plug. No, that's just me getting a bad connection. So we know our voltages are good. Okay, let's just unplug that a second. So we know our power is good, so we can plug that back into the board. I have my Atari ST video cable here. Wrong one. Is that? No, that is the monitor. Come on, get in. And plug the power in. Again, be very careful not to touch anything. Press record on our capture device just in case it works. And what I'm going to do is just stick an old floppy disk in there because these Atari STs, they do boot into the TOS, but it takes like 30-40 seconds if there's no disk in there. Ooh. So definitely an audio problem. Let me turn the volume down on the monitor. Okay, so we've got disk seek. And it sounds pretty bad. Although it is seeking. Yeah. Let's just take that out. Although it could be that the disk is not an Atari formatted disk, that's not a PC disk. Ah, and look at that. We actually have a desktop. Okay, let's switch this off. We'll plug our keyboard back in and then we will see what happens. Obviously that floppy drive probably needs a good bit of lubrication because yeah, it sounds pretty noisy. But yeah, I mean that fired straight up. Okay, so I've got no mouse plugged in, but we can use the Alt key and the arrow keys. So looks like up arrow is not working and neither is down arrow. I can't really den test anything else because I don't have a mouse to hand at the moment, unless I can find it somewhere here. Oh, speak of the devil. Okay. So So the annoying thing about these STs is that the mouse port, the joystick port, is underneath here. Great design choice. It actually plugs into the underside of the keyboard. So yeah, let's try and get this in. Okay, so that's definitely in. Probably not the recommended way of installing a mouse. Okay, so this mouse definitely does work, but obviously, yeah, it ain't working on here. Because, yeah, there is no movement there. Okay, let's try connecting it to the other port just in case. Ah, now it's working. So either the mouse only works in port 2 or that port is faulty. Okay, so we have this station. So everything's in German. This is a German version. This station A. And something on there called Opus 1, which I have absolutely no idea what it is, because this is an old disc that I got with another ST I bought. So what I need to do is find some kind of notepad, if there is one here, where I can, you know, type. Now this is text 8. Okay, that's just a document. So I don't think this has a built-in text editor to test the keyboard with. Game 1, level 0. So it's some kind of game. What I need is an application where I can type. So let me look through my pile of Atari ST discs. And I have one here that's called an Omicron disc. So I have no idea what that is. Well, let's take a look. Maybe it's some kind of editor. It looks like lots of basic files. Basic program, readme. OM basic. Let's run that. Okay, so it looks like it's a basic interpreter. That's good, because that means it gives us a command prompt, which we can then hopefully press some keys. G's not working. So F was working, but no V, no C. Okay, let me write this down. Pen, pencil, anything will do. Okay, so backspace works, so that's good. So I'm not sure about escape. So number 1, 2. Now looking at these random keys that are not functioning, I would suspect that it's probably something to do with the IC or the wiring, because usually if it's something wrong with a membrane, I'm not even sure if this has a membrane under here, usually you would get whole rows and columns go out, or depending on how obviously they've designed the keyboard. Yep, so that seems to be the main fault with the machine. So I do have another ST, so I can quickly get the keyboard out of that and test it. Here's the keyboard out of my other ST. And right away, yeah, this cable looks totally different to the other one. So we will be able to see if, no, the keyboard controller on this one is also socketed. So we could test the keyboard controller to see if that is the fault. Okay, let's just, yeah. Unplug them out. Okay, so the wiring is literally just straight through, 1-to-1. So we can see if any of these wires have been crossed. Okay, so that's correct. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. No, that is not correct. This wire's crossed over. Oh no, stop. I've got the wrong one. Sorry, start again. That goes to the 3rd pin, that goes to the 4th pin. This one goes to that pin. This one, yeah. Yeah, no, so they are all in the correct order. I mean, it could be that this maybe there's a problem with the plug. Somebody obviously cut this off and then maybe they thought the cable was faulty. There are some factory wires on here, so let's make sure that they're all in the right places. Yeah, that all appears to be right. So, first of all, let's just put this keyboard in and see whether those keys that aren't working are now working. Okay, so okay, now nothing seems to be working. Yeah, that is definitely plugged in correctly. It's entirely possible that I've crashed the computer. Let's try turning it off and turning it back on again. Okay, so that's now working. Let's just try the old keys. Yeah, so up and down are now working. basic, that's what we were using before. Okay, so let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, 0. Yeah. W-R U caps. Yeah. Yeah. So this keyboard is working perfectly fine. So I would suspect that the issue is with the actual keyboard itself. So as a quick test, what we can do is swap out these swap out these chips and see if that makes a difference. And no, that's not going to work too well. Where's my trusty screwdriver? There you are. Okay, so that's our known good chip. Okay, and our keys are still not working. So we know that it's not the controller IC that's wrong. So it has to then be an issue with either the membrane or I can't really see it being a problem with the diodes because there are specific keys that are not working. There are not rows of keys that are not working. So I don't know whether this has a membrane. I just want to quickly swap out these chips again because I want to make sure I keep the same chips in. I don't want them getting mixed up. Good keyboard in. Okay, I'll just turn off my capture device so I'm not recording a blank screen. Okay, so let's pop the cover on the keyboard and see what there is doing under there. I've never disassembled an Atari keyboard before, or an ST keyboard. or any type of keyboard. Right, hopefully that's all of them. Oops, something went flying. Okay, so yes, it is little rubber domes. It's not even one membrane, which is annoying, which means that if I tip them, they're all going to go flying. Get in there. So what I want to do is bring in my other keyboard for reference. And open up our basic program. And what I'm going to do is just use a rubber dome to make contact. And if I use a different one to the ones that are not working, hopefully I'll find that maybe it's to do with the carbon on these things, that maybe it's worn. Obviously I didn't test the function keys, I have no idea whether they work. Okay, so on this row, the second key in was our number 1, which was not working. Got 1, 2, and 3. So let's try going here on 1. Yes. 2, 3. Okay, so if we go back here, let's not lose too many of these. Okay, so number 1 is fallen out there, so I have no idea where it went. So this is the one from the number 1 key. So let's, number 2 key, sorry. And you can see they're pushing it and nothing happens. So I suspect it's that carbon that's the problem. So, cotton bud, and just need to find my IPA, wherever that's disappeared to. Bueller. Well, I can't find my spray bottle, but when you can't find that, use a big litre full. Right, so let's just double check that was the same one. So yeah, not working. Give it just a gentle wipe and try it again. No, oh yeah, there we go. Something worked. Okay, I'm going to press quite hard on that to make it work, whereas this one, it works with just a gentle push. Yep, so I'm going to go and clean all these and then reassemble the keyboard, and then I will be back with you in a jiffy. And through the power of video editing, we are back. And as you can see, I have the Atari fully reassembled. Yeah, I just need to find some screws now to put in it because it came without the screws. But yeah, our keyboard is back. The only key that doesn't work so far is the full stop or the decimal place on the number keypad, which is no great loss because there is another one here. I think maybe the pad on that one is just too far gone, so maybe I get one of those restore kits that are designed for TV remotes where you can paint on some carbon, I think it is, to rejuvenate the pads, because yeah, obviously remote controls, they can last for years, but you know, the pad sometimes goes. The J key is a little bit, you have to give it a bit of an extra push, so that probably needs a little more work on it, but yeah, as far as I can tell, all 40 keys work because yeah, they do various things. But everything else, I mean, we had the 1 and the 2 and the 3, 7s. Half the keys just didn't work, and now they're all great again. So you know, jobs are good. And so yes, you know, and thanks again to my subscriber who kindly donated this to the channel. He also donated the high-res monitor and monitor that goes with it. So maybe I'll do a video on that, maybe if it needs a recap. Usually I tend to stay away from monitors and high voltage stuff because yeah, it can be quite shocking if you do the wrong thing. Haha, pun intended. So if you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me an Australian thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that bell icon to get notified of when I release new videos. As always, thank you for watching.